They're covering the most current issues in sports from the 305 to the 412 and all the way to the West Coast. You can follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at JT and the Don, or email them at jtandthedon@gmail.com. Now take it away, guys.
Give them a shot to do what?
Welcome back to a new episode of JT and the Don All Sports Podcast. I am the Don, Donato Bucci, and subscribe to us where you find all of your other favorite podcasts. And remember to please leave us a 5-star review. Also, please subscribe to the Give Us a Shot YouTube channel. We have a full show for you tonight, all football, along with a special guest. But first, let us welcome in everyone's favorite, JT, Jimmy Thompson. How you feeling today?
Damn, man, you had to drag me back. I was happy with retirement. I was living good, and you had to drag me back to deal with you. And after the Canes lose a national championship, you must got a death wish today, man. Like, I don't know why you would want to go up against me.
Just be happy. I got you a brand new 4-year contract extension.
You got me that deal?
Signing
my
bonus.
Agent got my deal.
Signing bonus. I am your agent.
No. You tried to be my agent. You a terrible agent.
I make you look so good on air that I'm basically
if you were a good agent, man, you'd be up in the box. You'd be GMing this whole thing. You wouldn't be down here with me.
No agent can help you. They got to be on the field, helping you, holding your hand, play-by-play, all of that. So listen, just enjoy the contract. Send me some of your signing bonus, and it'll be all right.
I ain't sending you shit.
All right. Well, you know what? One person I know that's appreciative is our guest. Let's welcome in our resident college football expert and the Landon Bears offensive coordinator, Coach Connor Cassidy. Welcome back to the show. You're starting off our new year, new season, new episode of JT and the Dawn. We had to bring you on, our all-time leading guest in terms of show appearances. How you been, man?
I've been well. It's good to be back on with you guys. I'm glad you guys are kicking it off again.
Good. Thank you. So, JT, can we start? Because let's get through this first segment of college.
Hey, we waiting on you, man. Look, you still talking, man. Get to it.
All right. Well, as you know by now, the Indiana Hoosiers are the college football national champions after a 27-21 victory over JT and my Miami Hurricanes. The game ended on a last-minute interception by the Hurricanes in Indiana territory. So, Coach Cassidy, we're going to go to you. You're the expert. Let's start with the game in terms of, do you feel Miami lost this game, or was it more that Indiana won this game?
Well, I kind of have an idea as to where you guys are going to go with your response here. And I'm going to go ahead and say that Indiana won the game. And I'm not just saying that to be contrarian to you guys, but I do believe that. And I think if you look at the game-winning drive, they have to take 2 timeouts on 4th and 5 and convert 2 4th downs. The first with that back shoulder throw to was that Becker who caught that Becker one, and then the heroic run by Mendoza on 4th and 5 with the gutsy QB draw call, and I think that aggressiveness points to the fact that they went out and won that game. I also hand credit to their defense for mostly bottling up Miami Stars most of the night. Obviously Malachi Toney had a nice run there in the third quarter to set up one of those touchdowns late. But otherwise, I thought Indiana bottled him up well and did a good job controlling the run game as well. And then I would also point to the blocked punt to set up that touchdown as well. That's an aggressive play at a critical time in the game. And so while certainly Miami had some untimely mistakes with penalties, the turnover late, it was a great game. And in the fourth quarter, I thought the Canes really took every punch and responded with a punch of their own the whole fourth quarter there until the end. And so I would give credit to the Hoosiers for winning the game more than Miami losing it.
Yeah. JT, what do you say?
Do we really have to talk about this, man?
Yes, this is why we're doing a show. Quit saying that.
I really don't want to talk about this right now, man.
Well, too late. You already signed up for the show. You inked the 4-year deal. Talk.
Hey, man, respectfully, I disagree, man. Like, Miami lost. And let's just call a spade a spade. And it's because of just all the mistakes we made, man. The block punt, the missed field goal. Like, those were the differences in the game. Like, it's Mario Cristobal. It's his claim to fame, man. Too many mistakes in the biggest moments. So, and it's not even just this game. It's really been building all season. Like, even in the playoffs and the regular season, like, it's been brewing. Like, just look at our slow starts throughout the playoffs. Like, there's 2 playoff games where I don't think we scored in the first half. And then I think we're averaging, 7 points throughout the first half of every game of the playoffs. Like, you can't have that, when you're trying to win a national championship. And then, you bring up terrible decision-making. You're talking about Beck. All 3 of our losses this year have been 6 points or less. Every one of those losses, he threw an interception to end the game. And this game was just par for the course of what we've seen from Carson Beck throughout the whole year. And it really hurts me because it's clear we were the better team. Like, look what we did to that Indiana offense in the second half. Everyone's like, oh, this is 2019 LSU. I didn't see no Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson out there. I didn't even see Joe Burrow out there. Like, we should have beat this team. I think we have 9 or 10 guys that are going to be drafted by the NFL. And you see it on our defense. Like, we should have won this game and we lost it. Tiny mistakes here and there were ultimately what caused this game. Bad situational moments have kept us on the edge. We've just been lucky to be winning those games. And this was finally the tipping point, and we cost us a national championship. So Miami lost this game. I don't think Indiana won it.
I'm going to take a little bit of what each of you said. JT, I'll start with what you said. I do think top to bottom, talent-wise on the roster, depth, I think Miami was the better team or is the better team. But I'm going to agree with Coach Cassidy in that Indiana won this game. It wasn't something that Miami did that cost them the game. Yes, they had some unfortunate
penalties. That's not what you said yesterday.
That's
not what you said yesterday. And I had to stay up and listen to you complain about how they're not better than us. And Coach,
I said that again. They're not better.
Don't bring up Becker. Don't bring up Becker because he don't like that. You can't say that name on this show. He will flip shit.
So what I said immediately after the game, and that's why we don't do a show immediately after the game, we have time to process everything.
It actually makes sense after the games, and then I don't know what happens to you after that.
So you look at it. I just said, top to bottom, Miami is the better team. I mean, talent-wise, you're going to see in the first round in April more Miami guys called than Indiana. In the coaching, to be honest, the difference in that game, I don't think there was a big advantage by Indiana as everyone thought, to be honest. I think they kind of ran into a couple plays, but in terms of Indiana winning the game, they did. I mean, they had a dominant second quarter. They had one drive that I think was 15 plays. The whole first half, Miami only ran 14. So to come back and say that Miami just kind of gave it away or lost it, I don't think so, because it's hard to say that when you've never had a lead in the game. And Miami never had the lead. If they had the lead at some point, and then there's the block punt, and then there's some timely, unfortunate penalties, then I would say, yes, Miami kind of gave them the game. But not in this instance. You can't have the second quarter that Indiana did and say that Miami gave it away. Coach Cassidy beautifully laid it out. The block punt, they had 2 fourth-down conversions on that drive where they scored on the Mendoza spectacular touchdown. And then don't forget, on the last drive that set up the field goal that made it 27-21 instead of staying at 24-21, they threw another back shoulder fade to Becker. If they don't complete that one, they're out of field goal range, and it's too risky to go for it on fourth, because then you're only up a field goal, leaving the ball at essentially like the 40, 37 or something like that. They would have had to have punt. And now Miami, instead of Becker needing to take a shot, or instead of Carson Beck needing to take a shot, they could have gotten within field goal range for Carter Davis. So listen, a mentor of mine once said, in terms of making plays. It isn't the X's and O's as much as the Jimmies and Joes. And at the end of the day, Indiana, even though Miami had more talent, top to bottom on that roster, had more depth, Indiana's the ones that made the plays at the end of the game and throughout the game for them to say that Indiana won it. So, Coach Cassidy, with Indiana winning it, all right, is Indiana showing us, in particular, Coach Cignetti, are they showing us the new way to build a team through older, mature players rather than all of these 4- and 5-star high school recruits?
That's an interesting question, and you guys are more into the recruiting expertise than I am. But I do think that the experience of those guys, those veteran guys on the field for Indiana, definitely shown through. And leading up to the game, and in past media appearances, Cignetti highlights the fact that a lot of the guys that he has brought in through the portal have been all conference players at other schools. And so he's getting guys who have experience, who are leaders, and who've proven that they can do it at other places. And then you add in the guys who have been with him at JMU, and they know the system, they know the culture. And I certainly think that helped facilitate their success. It was interesting, though, like in talking to some people before the podcast, it's not like a year ago at this time we were talking about Indiana's exceptional haul in the portal coming into this year. And so I also think you have to give credit to the staff for finding the right guys, identifying the talent that was going to fit in and enhance who they had, and then developing them and then coaching them well to put them in a position to be successful.
JT?
Disagree. Wholeheartedly. Because at the end of the day, if that was the case, and you make great points, it's all about, knowing the system and bringing in guys that have all this experience. And that's great. And if that was the case, then why are they having boosters like Mark Cuban funneling money into the program? Because you can find those guys without big-time boosters. Just go get former JMU players or these lower-level player guys and, go win a national championship. No. The way to win a national championship in this area is you have to pump money into your NIL program. Miami is a prime example of that. Without NIL, we're not in the playoffs. Without NIL, Alabama is still dominating in the SEC. The 3 SEC teams are in the championship every year. NIL, paying for the players and getting those 5 stars and 4 stars that are super talented is still the way to win a championship. Like this, I don't want to call what Indiana did a fluke because I don't want to make it seem like I'm just not giving them any credit. They did a hell of a job, hell of a season.
You're a hater. It's
I'm not a hater.
Go ahead and say.
Other than Mendoza, name somebody else on that team that you think is going to be an NFL starter. And tell me if you run that simulation 10 times, they go to the national championship and win it. They're not. So that is not the way. That's not the way of the future. It's still NIL. It's still getting the elite recruits out of high school. That's the way to go.
Go ahead, Coach Cassidy. You wanted to say something?
Well, I was going to say, per Indiana being a fluke, if you look back at their season last year, their 2 losses were to the 2 teams that appeared in the national championship game. And then they went undefeated this year. So they're certainly not a fluke. And I agree with a lot of JT's points there. But also to build on what you're saying, but outside Mendoza changes the whole dynamic, right? You've got the Heisman winning quarterback who had a fantastic season. And Cignetti even alluded to that in his post-game comments yesterday. He said, without that player at that position playing to the level that he did, this is not possible.
Well, to back up Coach Cassidy's point, if you watch the pregame, they asked Coach Marcus Freeman, who beat Indiana pretty handedly in the playoffs last year. They said, what is the difference between what Indiana was last year to then get to this point this year? And he simply said the quarterback position. They went out and got Fernando Mendoza. And while JT and I will talk about, or the 3 of us will talk about him in a little bit specifically, but if Marcus Freeman, a defensive coach, head coach of Notre Dame, is saying that, you've got to believe that Mendoza was the big difference in terms of the portal steal that kind of put Indiana over the top. But I think absolutely they're showing us the blueprint. And when I said it's not so much the X's and O's as much as the Jimmy and Joes, the the mentor I was talking about was Coach Cassidy. And my point to all of that is that, yes, you've got to have talent, right? You can't just go get a bunch of 23-year-olds and think, well, they've played enough, they can beat a 19-year-old or 20-year-old that's phenomenal. Like,
I mean, if that's the case, they can just pull you out of retirement. I mean, you much older than that, you have some experience playing,
exactly.
You know the game. They can sign you up right now. You could be the starting slot receiver. Go get a ring.
I'll take an NIL deal. But so there's got to be some talent to it. There's no doubt. But JT, they're combining. Indiana is combining not only the maturity of players, but they're getting talent. Let's face it. Elijah Surratt, he's going to get looks at in the NFL. Hemby, he's going to get looks at. Kalon Black, he's going to get looks at in the NFL. In that offensive line, their center is, an all-conference player. I mean, they're going to get looks. It's just the way it is because they have talent. And if you look at it, they're averaging between 22 and a half and 23 years old in terms of age. 16 of their regular 22 starters have played in their fourth or fifth year. And look at Miami's roster. 15 of the regular 22 starters are at least in their fourth year. So the average starter, Indiana, has an experience of 3.86 years. Miami is experienced 3.91 years. Guess what? Both teams in the national title game. They put on a great show. Both Miami, not only Indiana, but both Miami and Indiana are using this blueprint. It comes from college hoops recently. You go and look, they're not doing the Coach Calipari one and dones anymore. That's why Coach K got out of this. Like, you go look now, yes, you still need to have those 4- and 5-star recruits, but you need to fill out your roster with mature players. And as opposed to 10, 15 years ago, college football now is following the trend of college basketball where let's get all these 4- and 5th-year starters who were once 4- and 5-stars. So,
and that NIL money's, enabling them to stay. Correct.
Very, very good point. Yeah. And I think, Indiana is using that as also retention, So Coach Cassidy, moving forward, who would you want long-term, Mario or Coach Cignetti? And, this is more from like the way I looked at it was the school's viewpoint of like Miami or Indiana, kind of who's in that better spot with their coach.
So JT brought up Mario in his first response, and I actually thought Cristobal had really no mistakes last night that I would point to as glaring that influenced the outcome of the game. Like, ultimately, he is not throwing the interception. He is not kicking the field goal that goes off the upright. He is not missing the block that allows the punt to be blocked. And I didn't think there were any like woeful game management situations. In fact, I was wondering a little bit if Indiana was going to regret using 2 timeouts on that one series. And there it was with Mario with all 3 in the bag with, late in the fourth quarter. And it's really been like the game management decisions and the clock management and the timeout management that have been his biggest critiques. And I think like, if you look at this playoff run, he's gotten better in those regards. He's gotten better in the game management and the clock management and really had no issues with it throughout the playoff. And I think like Mario's strength is recruiting and like building a culture and a team that has a really tough physical identity and mindset. And I think all those things come through. So I honestly think like, it's really tough to pick. Who would you rather be? Would you rather be Miami with Mario or Indiana with Cignetti? But at the end of the day, like Mario's 55, Cignetti is like 64. And so if I had to choose, I might go with Mario. He's a little younger. He's got a little more tenure to him. And I think in this modern landscape, to your point, where recruiting continues to matter and getting those 4 stars and those 5 stars, if you can continue to see that upward trajectory of growth and development for him as a coach, which I think he's displayed lately, I think he's got a really bright future.
I like it. JT, you don't look amused. Show some respect for our guest. He's never going to come back on.
I mean, any disdain you see on my face is for you, not for him. So, I mean, he already knows that.
I didn't say a word yet on this topic.
I took this question as if I'm the president or whoever the decision maker is for the university, of like, which one would I rather choose? And it's nothing against Cignetti. Brilliant coach. I mean, I don't like his antics. I think he's a little Hollywood at times, but you know, who isn't?
Hollywood sells.
Yeah. But I'm going to take Mario for a lot of the points that Coach made. But I will say this. One, I feel Mario's ascension is more sustainable because it's what's in and what keeps your team relevant and in the playoffs every year. Recruiting, NIL, and nailing the portal every year. I mean, he does that continuously, and that's not going away whether we win or lose. Like, he's always going to have those things in the bag. But also, too, I'm going to counterpoint to the age. To me, Mario gives me the feeling of a lifer. Like, I can see him being the coach of Miami until he just no longer wants to coach anymore at any level. And to me, that's more valuable. Whereas like Cignetti, I love it. He talks a great game, but how many schools has he already jumped already? Like, the NFL is next. If he has another, 2 or 3 12-win seasons, they're going to Matt Rule him and take him right out of college football, and he'll be coaching in the NFL. And I just can't rely on him to stay at Indiana. Like, what's keeping him there over the NFL? Like, I can't definitively say that. Whereas Mario, I feel like if the NFL or let's say Alabama comes calling, it's going to be very hard for him to walk away from Miami because like this is his dream job and his dream school. So for those reasons, that's why I would personally pick Mario over Kurt at that point.
Yeah, sometimes when you go third in these questions, everyone's already hit all the points.
Just say we better. Just say you ain't got nothing to say, man. You're not that good.
The one thing I'm gonna go with Mario, 9-year difference. That was the first thing I had, Coach Cassidy.
Hell no. I mean, hell no. You do not get to go with Mario. You don't get to answer this question. You got Manny Diaz. As much crap as you talked about Mario and I wish I could leak the text messages from all the group chats every day until this year is Manny Diaz. See, we should have had Manny Diaz. We should have kept Manny Diaz.
I will say two things.
We should bring him back. Oh, Manny Diaz won an ACC championship before Mario, but now you want to pick Mario?
I will say this.
Talk about Hollywood.
With Manny Diaz, he won a title before Miami did. All right. He is developing players at Duke as well. He did a great job when he went to Penn State as defensive coordinator. And listen, sometimes people can change and prove you wrong. And that's what Mario has.
Are you changing?
Yeah. No.
You're changing your attitude. So we don't want Manny Diaz back. You want to keep Mario.
No, let me finish. You keep interrupting. If I'm saying he has changed as a coach, meaning Mario, and he has proven me wrong. And that's why down the stretch, and again last night, that was the one thing I was not worried about. It looked like Cignetti was Mario 2 years ago using 2 timeouts on the same drive. I thought that would come back to get it to bite him, but it didn't. Mario had all the timeouts. We didn't have to rush anything at the end. Mario did a great job in the playoffs. He did a great job from November 1st on. So no complaints, and that's why I'm going with Mario. And, 9-year gap may not mean much, but when Cignetti's already 64, how much juice does he really have? And, JT, you brought something up. The thing that I would worry about Cignetti is if I was Indiana is could someone outbid me? If Alabama, Michigan, like Auburn, if they really wanted Cignetti, I don't know how much longer he would stay. Now, the thing is, I don't know how much those schools really want Cignetti is the thing. So they may be okay, but there's always that in the back of your mind. Whereas with Mario, he's not going to the NFL. And I don't think Cignetti is either. He's already said it. But with Mario, alma mater, dream job, and he has the support of former players as he's welcomed them back. And so if I'm Miami, I like the position we're in, but the university has to continue to support them at an administrative level because it's an arms race. And I don't think Miami has enough loaded boosters as these other programs do. You saw it with the ticket sales. Indiana alum has a larger enrollment, a larger alumni base. Even though it was in Miami, it was like a 60-40 game, meaning Indiana 60% of the fans, Miami only 40%. And that's what worries me because as you know, it's a numbers thing. If you have 20 million people to choose from, there's going to be a lot of millionaires and billionaires in there, whereas Miami has an enrollment of like 10,000 each year. The alumni base is not very big. So, but I think Mario is better long-term going forward just because of all those things we said. So, Coach Cassidy, let's talk about individual players. The Heisman winner. Is Fernando Mendoza a legit NFL QB in your opinion?
I mean, hard to argue against it. He's got the measurables, right, with his height and weight. He's got great arm, great accuracy, especially, I'd say. And I think if you just look at his personality, he's a very sharp, focused individual and clearly cerebral player who understands, the game plan and how to attack his opponents and take advantage of the defense, read the defense. And so I think if I'm an NFL GM, I'm feeling pretty good about what I'm getting from him. And I think he alluded to it last night. Throughout most of his interview appearances, he seems like fairly humble, but he alluded to this chip on his shoulder that he had as being a 2-star recruit who was overlooked by a lot of programs. And he cites Tom Brady as his football idol. And you can kind of see a little bit of a similarity there with Tom Brady in terms of like being overlooked, that kind of build, that kind of mental approach to the game. And so you could see him going to the right NFL franchise and having a really successful career with the pieces, if the right pieces are around him. So it'll be interesting to see.
JT, I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Coach, man, I mean no disrespect when I say this, but Tom Brady is the best football player of all time, right? We all could agree. He also, at the same time, is one of the worst things to happen in sports because Tom Brady went on to have this amazing career. Now every player that was sorry is like, oh, I was overlooked and, I have all this confidence in the world because I can become Tom Brady. You're not going to be Tom Brady. Mendoza is not Tom Brady. And you know who else knows that? Tom Brady, because he was on the sideline and watched Mendoza throw for all 180-something of his passing yards last night just for the Raiders to probably take him number one. I do not think he's a QB1. First of all, I don't want to disrespect the hometown kid. Look, he's from Miami. I got friends that gone to Columbus. They work at Columbus, so I'm not trying to disrespect them, but it is what it is. Like, this not a QB1 in the NFL. No 300-yard passing games this year. And on top of that, where we're lauding him is for that Big Ten championship game against Ohio State. He ain't played great in that game either. Like, you make it seem like, oh, he was Joe Burrow, with Ja'Marr Chase and Justin Jefferson throwing for 60 touchdowns. Like, he not doing that. Let's look at the game against us. He completed 4 passes in the second half and was sacked 3 times. What that tells me is pressure gets to him and he can't really do anything. You take away that lucky run, which you want to talk about coaching malpractice. Apparently, our DC couldn't get the call down in time, even though they've seen them run that play out of that same formation, that same down and distance all year, but we couldn't get it down to it was going to be a QB draw. But other than that one play, I didn't really see an NFL QB1 last night. Like, you telling me this guy is the number 1 overall pick? Think about all the quarterbacks that have gone number 1 overall, whether they're good or not in the NFL, and put them all up on the wall. And then put Mendoza there. He does not belong. I just do not see it with him. Like, game manager at best. And I'm sorry, you can't be a game manager going to a franchise like the Raiders or the Jets and expect to be successful. He's going to go to the NFL, get exposed, get his head bashed in behind a terrible offensive line, and we're going to forget all about him. So I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think because JT came up with this question, it's a little vague. Like, what does a legit NFL quarterback mean? I mean, can he be a starter? Sure. I think he could be a starter.
I mean, anybody can be a starter if the coach names you the starter.
Exactly. But he hasn't shown me enough to be the 1-1. I mean, you've got to be that special talent to be the 1-1. Not even, again, Tom Brady was the 1-1. And Tom Brady had a lot of these characteristics, in terms of like accuracy and leadership. A lot of those things he already had at Michigan. But you got to be that – he did. You got to be that special 1-1.
Or did Tom Brady just get lucky going to one of the greatest coaches of all time in one of the sorriest divisions for 2 decades?
Again, you kind of interrupt, so you kind of ruined the whole point where I was getting to. But anyway,
I just got to ask you the question.
New year, same old JT. But he hasn't shown me enough to be the 1-1. 16 of 27 last night, 186 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and sacked 3 times. I mean, he's a good leader. Fairly accurate and mobile enough that, he doesn't do anything great, but he doesn't show me that he's better than others. And at the 1-1, again, I think you just have to be that special player. So if the question is more like, is he a franchise quarterback? I'm not so sure, because to JT's point, he brings up a good one. Going to the Raiders, if Mendoza played the way he did this year in college but was with the Raiders, does any of us three think the Raiders make the playoffs? Does he make them a playoff team this current year? No.
Not throwing for 180 yards.
Right. Does he make them
can do that?
Does he give them an extra win? Maybe through his leadership in the locker room, but no more than one more.
What leadership? Like, why are we just harping all these superlatives on people? Like, okay, he talks nice in front of the camera. Like, that doesn't make him a great leader. Like, adversity does. Because I'm sorry, we also watched him at Cal last year. And if he still was at Cal, this wouldn't even be a question, because he was terrible at Cal last year. I didn't see that leadership, because guess what? He left Cal and he didn't want to come home to Miami. He's saying, "Oh, we didn't offer him." This coaching staff for the Canes wasn't the one that recruited him. So
right.
They offered you in the portal. You didn't want to come home. Like, to me, like, you can't be this great leader if you're always running from adversity. Like, he was not good at Cal. He got caught up in the wave of Indiana this year. I just don't understand where this, all right, he's the first overall pick, like, let's lock it. Where's that coming from? Like, is he better than Ruben Bain?
But there's differences between leadership and being the 1-1, JT. Like, you're going back to Cal. Oh, he didn't play well. That's fine, but it doesn't mean that you're not a leader. I mean, he clearly was the leader of this Indiana team. Like, he clearly is their leader. You can't argue that. But at the end of the day,
you can make the same argument that he was the P. Diddy of this team. He was just all on the camera, all in the videos, getting all the interviews. That don't make you the leader of this team.
But how does it not? The way
I'm not saying he's not, but I say just the harping on him. Like, I don't. You can't do that just because he's the quarterback. Don't make you automatically the leader.
But I understand that. But when he gets knocked the way he did against Ohio State, and let's be fair, last night he took a shot, gets a bloody lip, and he's still playing.
And he should have taken the shot. He should have tried to block our defensive end.
And that's fine. But what I'm saying is that dude, he overcame some of that adversity, the Ohio State game, even last night. I mean, listen, JT, let's be fair. If only the quarterbacks were switched last night, this is a whole different conversation. Miami wins
because we still gonna have the block punt. We still gonna miss field goals.
No, we wouldn't have. You know why? No, you know why? We would have picked up a first down instead of having to punt from the end zone. That's the difference. Carson Beck.
All right, change your answer. Mendoza first overall pick.
Let me ask you
this,
1-on-1
in Dynasty. He's a franchise quarterback. He is the NFL QB1.
You need to open your ears. You do not listen. I already told you he's not the 1-1. But the difference is last night, would you have rather had Carson Beck or Mendoza down the stretch with 50 seconds to go?
Ain't the NFL quarterback either.
It doesn't matter, but that's my whole point. He's the leader of that Indiana team. Is Carson Beck? No. So to your point, just because you're the quarterback doesn't make you the leader, but Mendoza is the leader of that team and did it really well. That's the end of the story. You're totally wrong on it.
Nah.
All right,
Cignetti is the leader of that team.
So let's talk. Let's go to everyone's favorite segment. We're going to do college football edition. Forget about it or Fugazi. All right, we're going to read a statement. If you agree with it, you're going to say forget about it. If you disagree with it, that it's garbage, you're going to say Fugazi. All right, good Coach K or good Coach Cassidy. My bad.
That's how you know you're an elite level coach, man. He just called you Coach K.
JT, I'd have to explain this 5 more times for you to understand it, but so hopefully you read the show notes and you got it. I know you always wing it. You never come prepared. All right, so Coach Cassidy, we'll start with you. And JT might have to explain this because he wrote this one. I didn't quite understand it, but The SEC isn't as dominant anymore, and college football will continue to be a regional sport until they change their focus solely on them.
All right, so I'm basically going to focus on the first half of that question, unless JT you want to weigh in further. But like, I'm going to address the SEC is no longer the best conference, and that's forget about it, right? Like, look at the last 3 national championship winners: Ohio State, Michigan, Indiana, and look at the last 2 years. There's not even an SEC team in the championship game. The Final Four this year, there's 1 representative. Look at the top 5 final ranked teams in the AP poll this year. You've got 3 Big Ten teams and Miami, 1 SEC team. I just think the data, no matter how you want to look at it, shows you that the Big Ten has caught up and then surpassed the SEC. And, those programs have got to do some reevaluating and figure out how they can catch up to the Big Ten programs that have had all the success lately.
Yeah. JT?
No, I agree. It's forget about it, man. And I've been saying this for, I feel like 2 years now in our group chats. The SEC is just a top-heavy league. There is no parity in that league. Like, you just look at the wins. Like, 5 teams have had only 10 wins since 2021, and only 2 of those have even hit 9. Look at the ACC in that same span. There's 3 non-marquee teams that have multiple 9-win seasons in that same time frame. So you're talking about like Louisville, Pitt, and Wake. So from top to bottom, a Big Ten or ACC that maybe doesn't get that same love as the SEC, their bottom tier teams just have better seasons the past 4 or 5 years. And I think that's why you're not seeing the SEC represented in the national championship as much as they used to. Like, half of the SEC at the bottom, are you confident that they would win another Power 4 conference? Like Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Florida, South Carolina, Auburn. Auburn has been terrible for God knows how many times they hire the same 3 coaches. Like, these teams just aren't good. And we see it more now, too, because we're beating some of these teams. Like, we're beating Florida. We're beating a Texas A&M. So I just think the SEC has been overrated. And to the second part of that question is, I think because college football has put such an emphasis on, the SEC's got to be in the playoff. They got to find a way to put them in the championship because, they bring in TV views and all this. When you do that and the teams aren't as good as other people think they are, you're alienating different fan bases from different parts of the country. Like, you go to the Northeast, do they care about college football? No. But guess what? If Boston College or Penn State were in the national championship, like, they would care, or if they got more consideration, they would care. Same thing with the West Coast teams. Like, there's a reason UCLA and USC struggle to, fill out their stadiums for games, is because they just don't get the love that the SEC does. So I do think if college football doesn't shift away from it's got to be a SEC type of show, like, you're going to continue to alienate different parts of the country when you could be leaning into it and building the base. So that's why it's forget about it to be.
Well, I'll make it unanimous. Forget about it for the SEC as dominant. I don't even know if they're the best conference anymore, but they are not dominant like the way they once were. And I think, to Coach Cassidy's point, it's actually 3 years in a row they have not been represented, right? Okay. Michigan, Washington, then last year was Notre Dame, Ohio State, and now Miami, Indiana. I mean, 3 years without even a representative in the final. I think it tells you right there what's going on. And then 2 SEC teams lose to Miami, and I still hear it. Miami shouldn't have been in the playoffs. They didn't play anybody, this and that. Well, they go into College Station and win. Then on top of that, and we were still banged up at that point, and then on top of that, we beat an Ole Miss team, and it really shouldn't have even been that close of a game. It should not have gone down to the wire like that. And so, wait, Miami's the 4th best team in the ACC, because you obviously had Virginia and Duke, and you still had SMU in there and Pitt. But I think with Miami beating Pitt fell behind them. But you still had SMU, you still had the winner Duke and Virginia. Like, so the fact that, SEC so much better, I think Miami just proved it wrong right there, being the 4th best ACC team. And to be honest, maybe they could have even beaten Georgia. I don't know, but we know they could have beaten Alabama.
You didn't want to find out, though.
We did not. But we could have beaten Alabama. You knew we could have beaten Oklahoma. I mean, I think those were givens. If the game matters, Miami would show up against those two teams.
And just look at those teams that have lost. Like LSU has lost to FSU like multiple times. And then Alabama lost to FSU. To me, if you lose to FSU, and I'm not trying to like crap on them because like we're Canes fans, but like they have not been a good team the past 2 years, and they have beaten SEC teams. Like these are your golden boys, like LSU, like Alabama. These are the standard of the SEC, and they're losing to like 3-win teams. So from the ACC. So I don't understand how you can have the strong argument and losing to the worst conference, the worst teams in that conference.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying about being the fourth best team in the ACC, fourth ranked. I would say they're the best team in the ACC. And I think that they proved they're the second best team in the country with the games that they won and the way they won them in the playoff.
In the performance last night, right? We were seeing people compare this team to the 2019 LSU team, but then on top of that, they're saying this could be another Georgia TCU game. And I'm thinking going in, I must be missing something because I don't see this being a boat race where, Indiana just takes off. I just did not see it with Miami's talent. And, to the comment here, we deserve to be there. I'm guessing talking about Miami. I disagree with that comment and statement. We earned our right to be there, right? We beat Notre Dame. We beat some of these other teams. We beat Florida during the year in SEC school. And again, we lost to two good ranked teams at the time in SMU or at some point in the season in Louisville. Yet we then go ahead and beat a top 25 Pitt team. And then there was a fourth ranked team in there that we also beat. So, Florida State at the time was ranked. So, I mean, we were 4-0 in the regular season against ranked opponents. And then SMU and Louisville ended up being ranked after we lost to them. So I think the SEC dominance is over because of NIL and revenue sharing too.
Yeah, it's funny when you're the only one that can't pay players anymore. See how that works?
That's all right. So, Coach Cassidy, one last one, and then we'll let you go. We know you're a busy guy. There will be 0 dynasties in the NIL era.
I think this is also forget about it. I mean, I think as much as the NIL and the portal are going to make dynasties difficult, I also think the shifting landscape of the playoff makes dynasties difficult. Think about what you have to go through now to win a national championship. You basically have like a 4-game slog against the best teams in the country. And, one off week or one particular injury over that month span can, end your season and then like influence the ending of a dynasty. And so I think definitely with the transfer portal and the movement of a lot of the talent, NIL evening the playing field, so to speak, with the talent not being stockpiled at particular blue blood programs, but being dispersed across the schools in the Power Four. And then per the playoff conversation, there's talks that it's going to expand even further. So I think that challenge of winning year in and year out, when you consider that playoff model, even becoming more difficult, I think the days of dynasties are probably behind us in the way that we have seen them recently.
Interesting. JT, you agree?
Yeah, of course. Forget about it. And just to add on to what he said, in the NIL era, the other thing that's preventing dynasties is now teams can no longer stockpile 4 and 5-star recruits that don't play for 2 years. Like that was SEC's claim to fame, especially Alabama. They'd have, top 5 draft picks sitting on their bench for 3 years, and then boom, they're a senior and they play. And they just don't transfer. They can't transfer anywhere. So that's not happening. 5-star goes to a program now. He plays or he doesn't play. He's out. He's in the portal. Guys are just throwing their name in the portal just to see what sticks now. So I just don't see how, like you said, with the expansion of the playoffs, more games, more opportunities to lose and not win a championship, plus, the shifting landscape of a team from year to year. You might be dominant one year and then boom, your whole team hits the portal and, you're not the same team next year. Look at Ohio State. Like they got people in the portal. Duke's losing their star quarterback. He's in the portal. So that just means roster reliability is just not – you can't count on that year to year with everything going on in this era.
I actually disagree with both of you guys. This is Fugazi. 0 is a small number. You're telling me from now until hopefully we each live
What's
another
a dynasty to you,
40.
Though?
Well, I was going to say that's the other question. I mean, I would say, would you say this Georgia program is a dynasty right now?
Would they win 2 and 3?
I don't know. Clemson, is Clemson a dynasty?
Not anymore.
I think the only
but they were, right?
I recognize are probably Miami, USC with Pete Carroll. I think who would be dynasty?
Alabama.
Florida. I think that's a dynasty with Urban Meyer.
That's fine. They only won 2 titles. I
feel like that era they were just dominant.
And that's fine. I mean, Georgia's doing that right now. In 3 and 4 years, that would probably be a dynasty. I agree. Even if it might not quite be 3 and 4 years, what if it's 3 and 6 years, but you're consistently getting there? I think why we will see dynasties is there's always a unique way to create a dynasty. Maybe Cignetti is doing it right now, and we're going to come on this show in 6 years and say, boy, we were wrong, So the other thing is, to your point with like the playoff landscape, I actually think that benefits dynasties. If you go back and look at like some of the late 80s, mid to late 80 Hurricanes, early 90 Hurricanes teams, if you look at some of the Urban Meyer Ohio State teams, or even like the Saban Alabama teams, how many times did they have one loss and they didn't get a shot? But we all knew that was probably the best team. You go back and look at the Canes, they lost one game in like 1990, and then they smoked Texas in the Cotton Bowl, and they were robbed of the title. And my whole point is, if there was a playoff that year, Miami's running that table and winning. They would have had 3 in a row, 89, 90, 91. You go look at some of those other teams, Colorado back then in the early 90s. Instead of 1, maybe he would have had 2 or 3. Like it's not over. And to our guy Mike Regina, we didn't realize that's who it was. Of course I'm right. I'm glad you agreed, Mike. I knew we're always on the same wavelength. We're always on the same wavelength. Like they're not dead. It's impossible to get rid of them, because the other factor too is you get that one head coach, whether it's Cignetti, Kirby Smart, Dabo, they're going to figure out that unique way. They're going to set a new trend, and by the time everyone catches up, they've won 3 and 4 years. So I think that's inevitable. Sorry, guys. I got to disagree there.
No, it's interesting. I think you make a great point about like pre-playoff and losing one game and being ineligible essentially to build a dynasty. I think the 4-team model that we saw for however many years that was, like a decade, that was the perfect situation to build a dynasty, because basically you get in and all you have to do is win 2 games. Whereas I think like this expansion is going to make that more difficult.
Yeah. But what's funny is, because you get a lot of opponents to the expansion saying, well, I don't want to see these blowouts and this and that. But it's funny because now you see Ole Miss can beat Georgia. You see Miami can beat Ohio State. Whereas if this was a year ago and it was the top 4, who would the top 4 be? Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas Tech. And it's like, oh, hold up. What about Ole Miss? What about Miami? Like, we can play with these big dogs because of the NIL and revenue sharing. So I agree with that. I also think, though, that does not exclude the possibility of dynasties.
I just don't see it, man. It's too many opportunities for you to lose. Like,
but
you already have to play 4 games now to get there at max. Like, look at what happened to Miami. If we had to play one less game, we're probably a national champion. Like, it's just too many games in football. Any given Sunday, any given Saturday, you can lose. It's too many games. Like, if it's just 1 or 2, maybe. But are you confidently saying that every team that you thought could have been a dynasty can just win 4 games, boom, if they got into a playoff? No, they probably could lose 1, and Vegas would back that up.
But what I'm saying is the cream of the crop always rises to the top, right?
Does it?
So, like, it does. So, like, those teams, right? But that's the whole point of, like, why Indiana is building something, just like Miami. Miami's slowly doing it. Indiana's more of a microwave for right now. But, like, both of those teams, hey, maybe they can face each other again. I just think it's hard to exclude dynasties altogether. A lot of people thought that with free agency and this and that in the NFL. And guess what? It made it even maybe more possible, because as guys got older, just release them and bring in similar players who are experienced. So everyone thought that with free agency, we'll never see the Steelers or the 49ers again. And it was like, what are you talking about? It may be easier now to create dynasties if you have the right management and the right coach. That's the same thing with the schools. We're seeing it now with Indiana. Administration made a conscious decision to pump money into the program, and it's paid off. So, well, Coach Cassidy, we don't want to hold up any more of your time. We know we've taken up enough already this evening. So thank you very much. Before we let you go, we want to say thank you very much. We hope to have you back, probably college football preview show, since we know during the spring and summer you are busy, but we're glad you could be on to help with the new episode, the new year of JT and the Don.
Hey, listen, it's always great to chop it up with you guys and talk some football. Pumped you guys are back on the air. It's great to have you guys back. And just a word of consolation, imagine being a Florida fan or a Florida State fan. You guys are the kings of Florida. You guys had a great season. The future is bright in Miami. And I'm wearing my Hopkins gear today because we lost in the national quarterfinals of D3 or semifinals of D3 after a great season as well. So hold your heads high. You guys had a great year.
Well, listen, Coach Cassidy, my guy, Mike Regina, who's been commenting on the show, him and I, we would have this phrase if we would lose to Florida State as we're leaving the stadium, and we'd be like, well, at least we live in Miami. We don't got to go back to Tallahassee. So win or lose, we were winning in life anyway. So
yeah, we can't say that no more.
Yeah, it's cold outside. It's cold outside in the DC studios. All right, Coach Cassidy. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it. See you next time.
Sounds good.
All right, so JT, what else we got? What else do we have?
Oh man, do we have to talk about the NFL, man? I feel so drained.
Let's roll through it.
I feel so drained after having to talk about Miami, but NFL playoffs, of course, great games, man. Rams, Bears, Bills. I mean, almost borderline instant classics. But let's review the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Let's start with probably your favorite game, the Broncos and the Bills. So, oh my God, heartbreaker. Broncos win a classic overtime game, 33-30. A lot of drama, a lot of fallout from this game, so let's get into it. But immediately, more impressive, the win by the Broncos, or was it a more disappointing loss by the Bills?
I've got to go more disappointing loss by the Bills. They had the lead in the second half, and going into this, you knew no Mahomes, no Burrow, no Lamar Jackson, none of this miracle.
No anybody.
None of this miracle 13 seconds with no timeouts and all of this and that. They could not steal it from you anymore. You could only do it to yourself. You had more experience than Denver, but you have your MVP quarterback, Josh Allen, with 4 turnovers in this game. And listen, I'm sorry, Broncos, but this is all about Buffalo. The lack of execution and failure to win, that's on Buffalo. It's got to be way more disappointing. I can't imagine what the Buffalo fans are feeling.
Yeah, for sure. It's Buffalo. And it's because this, to me, means their window is closed. This was their easiest chance to get to a Super Bowl. Like you said, all those quarterbacks that are missing, even throw out guys like Trevor Lawrence, who could, have a crazy game. Like, none of these guys are in the playoffs. Like,
Justin Herbert.
It's Bo Nix and a team that has the easiest strength of schedule since 2007. That's all you had to beat, and they couldn't do it. I feel bad for them, man. Bills Mafia got to be just torn to pieces, man. 4 has got to be their favorite number, man. Josh Allen had a turnover for every one of the blown Super Bowls they've had.
That's a low blow.
No, it's true. They say nothing's a coincidence, man.
That's a low blow.
That's
messed up.
All jokes aside, it's them losing. It's in that fashion is terrible. Like, honestly, I'm good for Bills Mafia because I feel like they're a great fan base. They're always behind that team, and this was their best chance, and they just blew it.
Bills Mafia, send any hate mail directly to JT.
Donate to me.
Those were only his
opinions. I got bills. I'm being abused by Don. Donate to my charity. All right, sticking with that game. Are the Broncos dead in the water without Bo Nix? Bo Nix fracturing the ankle. We don't know when. I don't think Sean Payton knows when he fractured it either, but he's out for the remainder of the playoffs, so they're going with your guy, Jarrett Stidham. Are the Broncos dead in the water for the remainder of the playoffs without their QB1?
They are not. I'm not saying they're
Sell
going
me
to
on
win.
Stidham. Here we go again.
Right.
You tried this shit 2 years ago and it didn't turn out so well, but sell me again.
I'm not going to say they're going to win it or win it all, but they're not dead in the water.
What you mean? They got 2 games left. If not to win it all, don't sell me.
Well, listen, I'm saying they're just not dead in the water. This is not a cakewalk for other teams playing that. And I'll tell you why, JT. Do you remember the football player, Nick Foles? Same thing happened in
bring up Nick Foles.
Same thing happened in 2017 to the Eagles. They had an MVP performance by Wentz during the regular season, gets hurt toward the end. Foles comes in, doesn't look good, and guess what? We know what history says about it. Listen, the same thing that happened in 2017 in Philly, an elite roster was around Nick Foles. I'm not saying Denver has quite that roster,
like
but
you said elite roster with Broncos and the Eagles in the same sentence.
But they're up there. They're up there. Arguably the best offensive line in the game and a strong defense that can play both the run and the pass. I mean, that's what Philly had. Hey, Nick Foles, meet Jared Stidham. Jared Stidham, meet Nick Foles. So they are not dead in the water. Denver fans, don't panic.
First of all, man, what a buzzkill for the Broncos, man. You win this epic game against Josh Allen, the MVP, and then only for your quarterback to be out and nobody knew. It's Sean
JT, let's be real. They should not have won that game. That was Buffalo.
With Josh Allen playing that way and the defense giving up timely plays, yeah, they should have lost that game. But no, I disagree, man. And it's a wrap. I've seen Jared Stidham before. You've seen him before, but you just refuse to admit what it is. And, as much as the Broncos want to hope for a Nick Foles scenario, like, this is not happening. Nick Foles replaced somebody that got hurt during the regular season. Also, Nick Foles had experience before and had success as a starter. Stidham got, 3 days to get his shit together with the first team while also trying to win a Super Bowl. These situations aren't created equal. They're not the same. So, Vegas saying it ain't going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's over. And I feel bad for the Broncos because their fans are actually nice. I've been to their games, like nice fans, but I think it's over, man. Like, Bo Nix was questionable to begin with. Now you having a downgrade from that, that's tough.
You heard it here first. When Denver gets to the Super Bowl, you heard it here first. Just saying.
This guy going to say everybody going to make it to the Super Bowl. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, the alien. Do we need to stop making excuses for Josh Allen after this loss?
Man, I hate saying this, but
why do you hate saying this?
Because he's such a great player, but yes.
There's a lot of great players in the league.
At least in this game, got to stop making excuses. And it all goes back, if you want to look at one singular play, it's the play at the end of the half. Listen, the coaching staff did the team and Josh Allen no favors. Take the knee, get into the locker room, regroup. You're not going anywhere in 10 seconds. No offense to any aggressive coach. But what he did there was loosely held the ball and really just showed that lack of not just ball security, but understanding like, hey, everything does fall on me, but I don't have to do everything. And the fact that they gave up those 3 points came back to haunt them. And listen, look at the film. He missed Dalton Kincaid at the end of regulation where, listen, I know you might have guys at your feet as you go to throw and Kincaid, is only a tight end, but you got to make that throw. You're the MVP. You're trying to get to a Super Bowl. You got to make that throw. The team relies on you. And the one thing is he doesn't have a lot of weapons around him, and I get that. I'll give him that. But that throw, you've got to make. And then there was another throw later in the game, in overtime in particular. I don't know if he was throwing it to Cooks or Shakir, but he missed them. And had he made that throw,
he missed some gimmies.
Had he made that throw toward the sideline, he would not have had to throw that bomb to Brandon Cooks trying to get a pass interference call. So, I mean, those 3 plays alone, the fumble, the 2 missed throws, one to Kincaid, and then the one in overtime. And I would argue the Brandon Cooks was open, and he underthrew Cooks on the interception. And
then he had Dawson Knox for like a walk-in touchdown if he just layers it.
But the thing is, on that long pass, Cooks had his guy beat. He had the weight, allowed the defender to get back into play. Those 4 plays are on Josh Allen. So in this game, definitely no excuses. I still think they got to put some more talent around them, but that doesn't matter right now. What matters is this game, and it's on Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think we got to stop making excuses. And I felt this way for a while. And just for everything that
You're just a hater. For people first time watching this show, JT is a hater. He will never come around on certain guys. Josh Allen could win 4 straight Super Bowls, and he'll say it's the coaching, it's the other players, it's the fans. He will never give Josh Allen
First
credit.
of all, you acting like I've been on here saying Josh Allen is trash. What I've been saying is we need to hold him accountable. All I've been saying is let's just judge him by the superstar label that has been placed on him. Is that so much to ask? That's literally all I've been asking. Because guess what? We do it for every other quarterback. Once we label him a superstar, the expectations go up and the margin for excuses go down. And he's the only one that seems to have been immune to that, not just by people we know, but by real media. So and also too, like Josh Allen, them all crying after the game and stuff like that. I feel bad. I know you losing a big game like that, and they probably know this was their best chance to win. I get it. But Josh Allen also stepped up to the podium and was like, I played like shit. It's on me. I did not play a good game. But it's like the media can't admit that. Like, that's what they need to do. If Josh Allen can go up there and say it, Donato, you can say it too. So we do need to start, making excuses for him. Like, he's the MVP. Like, he's the quarterback that everybody wants to see succeed. He had 4 turnovers in his game. To be honest, I think I missed one. I saw 2 for sure, but he turned the ball over so fast one time, like I wasn't even in the room. So, like, and the 2 turnovers I remember for sure were terrible. Like, they were definitely on him. Like, his 4 turnovers in that game, I think, are less than Jalen Hurts had in like 10 career playoff games. So this is just all-time bad. Like, every time he struggles, we either find an excuse or we change a rule, and we just can't do that anymore. Like, when I don't even know what to expect from him. It's either Super Bowl or it's a failure. Like, there is no other excuses. There is no other expectation. The same that I have for Mahomes, the same that I have for Lamar. Like, when you get to that elite status, Super Bowl or bust. Everything else is a failure. So yeah, we do need to stop making excuses. I'll go ahead and read it.
All right. So Fidel, he said, "Oh, you took it off there." Said you can read it there. And so JT, to his point, he was the only one that brought him back in the game after his blunder. So that's my point. Listen, I'm not making
and that's the problem right there. Is it's always a but. Like, oh, he bombed the game with 4 turnovers. But what quarterback playing in a game that important has 4 turnovers and they're losing? You playing the but game.
I'm not making excuses for this game. What I'm saying is, moving forward, though, they got to get guys around. I mean, just the way we said that about Lamar Jackson, they got to put guys around Lamar Jackson. The same thing can be said, about Josh Allen. Next question. Let's go. Next question. It's getting late. It's getting late.
All right. Seahawks 49ers blowout. 41-6 Seahawks 49ers. All right, let's go straight to Kyle Shanahan because that's all we really care about in this game. Will the 49ers ever get it done with him as a head coach?
I don't think so. Listen, he has been really good, but something always seems to happen, whether it's injuries and, losing top coordinators. He's losing Robert Saleh a second time. And we saw the first time after he left, right? And
he fired that D coordinator real fast.
Right. And like after DeMeco Ryans left, like it's hard to find guys that are good. Or he just can't seem to get it done as a head coach in crucial spots. Listen, I go back to that Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl. He was the offensive coordinator, did not manage the time well. And then listen, JT, twice. He had a fourth quarter lead twice in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, lost both. And you're an offensive coordinator. Like, you should be able, without even a defense, being able to sustain that lead with your offense. And he couldn't do it either time as the head coach of the 49ers. There's just certain guys that sometimes cannot get over that hump.
Are you saying he's Kyle Schottenheimer? Is that what you're trying to say? That's what it sounds like.
Listen, those were your words. Those were your words.
You're right. And I don't think they will get it done. The window is closed. And look at it this way. They don't have that QB rookie deal anymore to build a team on. Brock Purdy's getting paid like an elite quarterback now, even though he's not. And then all their star guys are old and too injured to really, make a move. CMC's old. George Kittle just went down with an Achilles. Fred Warner's leg is still snapped in half. I don't know how he was walking around. Nick Bosa's always out. It seems like all the time. And it's like those guys are too old and too injured. The window is closed. And here's the other thing I think that people want to talk about with the 49ers. They also don't draft very well. Like, they miss on a lot of guys. Like, when's the last time they drafted a really good receiver, a really good running back, like defensive line, offensive line? Like, they might hit guys at the top of the draft, but they just miss. They even miss on quarterback. Like, imagine what their team would look like if they didn't draft Brock Purdy by mistake. Like, they got lucky. So bad drafting with all these old players, they're not getting it done with Shanahan. I just don't see how they do it.
I'll push back a little bit with the drafting. I mean, Ayuk, Debo Samuel.
Go. He's been there for a long time. Kyle Shanahan's been there for a long time. You brought up that Super Bowl with the Falcons. Didn't he go to San Francisco immediately after that?
Right.
So how long has he been there?
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, so 2018. So
they have not drafted well overall, to be honest.
But they have definitely drafted some good players, bro. And that's what it's about. You're not going to hit more than that. You're not going to hit on all of them. You're not going to.
All right, let's talk about your guy, McDonald. Do we need to start elevating him into the elite tier of coaches?
I think so. I know it seems early, but I think so. He does it quietly so he doesn't get all the hoopla. He rebuilt that roster. They've rebuilt it. It wasn't like he came in and the cabinet was full, right? He's a defensive guy who gets it done defensively. And we always say that, JT. As
handle your side of the ball.
Exactly. Handle your side of the ball. What is your specialty as the head coach? Defense, special teams, offense. That part of the team better be really stinking good. And they are, man. Listen, they're third in defense in yards per game. And right there, it tells you his team is physical and tough. He loves to run the ball. That's football. Physicality. He gets it done. And it seems like his players just love to play. And that's something in the NFL. If you've got that, that's special. Listen.
I'd love to play for a coach that could get 50% pressure rate without blitzing a lot either. Like, if I can be on a defense that wins the Triple Crown, like, I'm loving life.
Listen, he's got to get to the Super Bowl through Sean McVay. I think he is already elite, but I think even if you don't agree with that, he's becoming elite. 38 years old, 24-10. We're going to have to start talking about this guy as in that top tier.
Well, we're talking about it right now because with no disrespect to my guy Flores, I think this might be the best defensive mind in football the last decade. Decade. I mean, just look at his track record. The last decade, he's up there. I mean, Flores, Tomlin, baby, but I mean, like, I know McDonald's the guy calling these plays, so I think it's between him and Flores. Like, these are the two boogeymen of defense. They're like, all right,
not Belichick.
The last 10 years, I don't really know. Like, I wouldn't say it's like prime Belichick, but McDonald's up there. But also, too, man, I just look at the defense. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. Like, they don't have any superstars on that defense. Like,
they got Witherspoon. Come on.
I mean, he's a star, but I mean, is he a household name yet? A superstar? Like, I think he will be.
Listen, I
don't know if he's there yet. Their entire secondary is still on their rookie deal. So these are some young guys out there dominating the game, and like, a lot of it has to do with his defensive scheme. Because I remember the Seahawks defense wasn't that great with some of them players before he got there. So.
I don't know. I feel like anyone in Seattle, it's tough to be a household name unless you're like a quarterback there. I mean, a lot of people still don't know JSN.
Richard Sherman, Legion of Boom. Yeah, they're all household names. All right, let's go to this is probably one of the most disappointing games.
Witherspoon is
Patriots, Texans. Let's just go straight to CJ Stroud. Is it time to have a conversation about him? Because I don't even care about the D'Amico Ryans. He handles his side of the ball. That defense is elite.
No, I don't think not yet. Not yet. I mean, listen, the only reason why I say not yet is you get rid of Slowick, you bring in Nick Caley, and he had his ups and downs as offensive coordinator, and sometimes that's reflective of on your quarterback, but it's not the quarterback's fault, right? And so maybe you got to give Caley another year, but you've got to bring in someone to help develop Stroud to get him there. You've got to bring in pieces around him. JT, we talk about like Lamar and Josh Allen not having pieces. He has no running game. This guy never has a running game. I mean, you got to have a running game.
Talking about CJ Stroud?
Yeah. What running game?
Did he not just have Joe Mixon, who was like one of the top rushers in the AFC like last year?
But I'm talking about a consistent running game. Joe Mixon was hurt maybe 2 years ago when CJ had his great breakout year. But what happened this year? Willie Marks? I mean, you know, like they keep trying to find these guys, Dameon Pierce. And I would also say that there's a lot of injuries to some of their receivers every year, right? Like there's injuries to their receivers. So I think that, you know, DeMeco has the defense buzzing. It's not time to panic. They need to improve the run game. They've got to improve the run game.
I mean, do I think we need to have a conversation? Yeah, because it's starting to be scary. 1 year, 2 years, all right, you got my attention. All because of who he's compared to in this draft class. It's like Bryce Young is the worst quarterback ever. All the stats and, you know, graphics telling us that all the times he started, he's the worst quarterback ever. He's been much closer to Bryce Young the last 2 years than he has been to getting an extension, in my opinion. So we do need to have a conversation. Now, I think your points are valid from the coaching standpoint, because I feel like he's switched coordinators like 3 times already. Now, part of it is because Slowick had that good first year, but he was terrible the second year. And then I don't know, like I don't know if it's the coordinators or if I don't know if it's the league catching up to CJ Stroud. Do they have receiver injuries? Yeah, but also too, like they have hella receivers. I mean, Nico Collins, they have Stephon Diggs, they got Christian Kirk, they got 2 phenomenal rookies. Your guy Jaden Higgins, Kirk, Jalen Noel. They have so many weapons that he should not be struggling like this. And also, your defense is one of the tops in the NFL. At the very least, just be a game manager. Like, you can't be turning the ball over 3 or 4 times a game in the playoffs. Like, yeah, 4 turnovers in the 2 playoff games each? Like, one of the interceptions he threw, I was like, what is that?
He
literally just flipped it to the guy. Like, that's on CJ Stroud, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's these off-season side quests with doing podcasts. I don't know if he's too cool for school. I don't know if the league is figuring him out. I mean, speaking of McDonald, I think McDonald might have ruined him. Like, he put the word out, hey, he can only really throw to one side of the field. So I don't know. He needs to show me that he can rebound. And his situation hasn't been bad enough with Houston to where I'm like, yeah, I'm blaming it on that. Like, no, he's got talent. He's got to produce.
Hey, if he wants to come on our podcast, he can. We'll do all the work for him.
Oh, yeah. We're going to support you, man. We're going to support you.
Look how fast he changes his attitude.
I can still have an opinion and support the man. I support him. I say he's not trash, but you got to show me something. All right, let's go with your guy, your twin, Mike Vrabel. Can he win a Super Bowl with the Pats in year 1? Y'all got the same hair.
I don't know how he's my twin.
Yeah, he's much taller than you.
Yeah, I mean, yes, of course they can. They're already at the AFC title game. And Bo Nix is hurt. There's no Mahomes, no Joe Burrow, no Lamar Jackson. I mean, that's going to be the theme here. Now, I think the bigger question is, like, can they? Yeah, sure.
Will they?
That's the different question. Will they? No. I think the NFC teams, those 2 teams, way too tough. No matter whether it's Denver or New England, forget about it. It's NFC.
I disagree. Yes, it's because Drake May. You know I've been saying this for 2 years, and I know your rule. Oh, they have to go through growing pains.
Yes,
you gotta suffer before you win. Like, sometimes it just ain't like that, man. Sometimes you just went out the gate and shit just go your way. And I think Drake May, speaking of quarterbacks thriving in less than optimal situations, Drake May ain't throwing to nobody. So I definitely think that they can win. To me, I think they should be second favorite behind the Seahawks. I love the Rams. They always have a shot, but I just think Drake May is the best player left in the playoffs, in my opinion.
See, that's your mistake. He is not. He is not. No offense to him. He is not. I mean, when you look at, you've got a Matthew Stafford in there. You've got to
go ahead, say his name. Say his name.
You've got to
say his name. Oh, I know you want to see Sam Darnold's in there. Come on, have conviction. Say it.
No, I would not put him and probably Drake May are about the same. So I think that Matthew Stafford is that guy, so, but the Seattle defense is just too much. Seattle defense is too much. If New England got to play them, it's the opposite of, what's going to happen in their last Super Bowl.
I ain't gonna lie, man. The Patriots got to deal with somebody, man. They never struggle. All right, last game, Bears, Rams.
Well, we know Brunson Contractors, I think, agrees with you there. I guess because they Drake May fans too.
Exactly, Mayday all day. Bears, Rams, instant classic, man. Caleb Williams, he'll make you think he's worth $300 million one play and then break your heart the next. But overtime, 2017 loss to the Rams by the Bears. Are the Rams now the favorite to win it all? I feel like you're gonna say yes because you love McVay.
That's McVay's my guy. He's the best coach in the NFL, hands down. But no, they're not the favorite. Well, because first Vegas tells us they're not, right? Seattle has the best odds, plus 145, then the Rams at plus 225. So the Rams are second best. Seattle has to be the favorite. I mean, the Rams recently lost to Seattle, and I think right now Seattle's healthy enough. If Darnold's healthy, I got to give Seattle the slight edge. I mean, I'll root for the Rams, but it's Seattle, bro. That defense, I mean, what Nightmare. They did to the 49ers after what the 49ers did to the Eagles. Come on. They're too much. And the reason why now, I think losing Zach Charbonnet hurts them a little bit because of that depth, because if they lose Kenneth Walker, then what?
Nah, that means Kenneth Walker gonna have to carry the whole load, man. I saw it for one game, but now the whole team knows that you're gonna be the only guy. There's a reason why they have that split backfield.
I just think that Seattle team is too well rounded. But the Rams could beat them. The Rams can beat them, but Seattle's the favorite.
Seattle should be the favorite. I just can't trust them just because they haven't done it before. Nobody on that team has done it before. Whereas the Rams, like, I know they have the highest floor out of any team left. Like, I know on any given Sunday, McVay could call a master class, Puka could go off, Stafford could do his thing, and boom, they could win a Super Bowl. So to me, I think they should be the favorites to win it, just because if I had to, gamble money, which I don't, I would feel as safe as putting it on them. My heart would say the Patriots, even as a Dolphins fan, that's terrible, but the safe money to me would be the Rams because they've done it before, and I trust McVay. I trust Stafford. I trust those players. So I think they should be the favorite to win it all, to be honest.
All right, that's fair. I mean, I'm not going to argue against that. McVay's the best coach in the NFL.
All right, let's go to your guy. You love him. He's QB1. He's the best quarterback in the league. After did he hit 4,000 yards this year?
Did he hit it? Didn't say all that. I actually do not know. We'd have to look that up.
I know that's what he was trying to get. Caleb Williams, your guy, best quarterback in the league. Is he the franchise quarterback of the Bears?
I mean, why is that even a question anymore?
There's a lot of people asking it.
Of course he is. Well, I want to know who those people are, because did they not watch the last two games? Did they not watch that throw against Green Bay? Did they not watch that play against the Rams at the end of regulation?
Lose his mind.
Hey, man, it don't matter. It don't matter. Listen, I've been telling you he is the real deal, and he showed it in the playoffs. And he's going to get a little help. And listen, I'm going to say
you already got the damn.
I'm going to say
Avengers on this team already.
I'm going to say this for the next decade. Do they still have Ben Johnson? Do they still have Caleb Williams? Do they still have?
They might not have Caleb Williams.
Do they still have Luther Burden? Do they still have Roma Dunze? Listen, they are the next Kansas City Chiefs in terms of offensive juggernaut.
And I mean this in a non-disrespectful way. This has nothing to do with, do I think Caleb Williams is a really good NFL quarterback? I think he's shown a lot. Do I think he's the franchise quarterback of the Bears? Right now, I'm going to say no, because he has to show me that he can hit the layups as well as he hits those crazy plays that he has no business making. Because to me, that's ass backwards. Like, if you could hit that corner out in the end zone multiple times, like falling back with one leg on the ground accurately, then you should be able to hit, 5-10 yard passes. Like, I think he's just too inconsistent for me to say, oh, he's definitely the answer for the Bears. Like, I think he will end up being, but right now I just can't put my money on it. He has to show me more consistency and that he can hit the layups before I can say this is the franchise quarterback for the Bears, because he could just be CJ Stroud all over again, where it's like, we see flashes. All right, we anoint him. He's good. We don't have to worry about him. And then 2 years have gone by. We're like, damn, do we need to start looking for another quarterback? Because we know Ben Johnson ain't going to be putting up with this shit for a long time. Like, he's used to guys hitting things on time, layups, deep shots, everything. But he got to prove he can do it all first before I said he's a franchise quarterback.
Unbelievable. You wish you had him in Miami. This is why you don't. It doesn't matter. Look at Josh Allen. Look at Lamar Jackson. It doesn't matter. You need a franchise quarterback to win Super Bowls, bro. And let me tell you something. This is why you never get franchise quartrerbacks in Miami. You're so disrespectful.
We don't get franchise quarterbacks because I'm not ready to say Caleb Williams is like the best quarterback of all time.
Because you're already saying that about Drake May. I didn't say for you to say he's the best of all time. You're saying he's not even a franchise quarterback.
No. I said of the Bears. I'm not 100% sure yet.
He may be the best Chicago Bears quarterback since Sid Luckman. You don't even know who that is. That's how long ago it's been.
You seen Sid Luckman play?
I've seen him in the highlights.
I know you went to high school to see him, but I'm saying that's a long time ago, man.
Exactly. So to say he's not the franchise quarterback of the Bears, you're nuts. You're nuts. You're nuts.
All right. Let's go to NFL coaches. I feel like I can't keep up with all the coaches getting jobs, coaches getting fired. The Dolphins hired some sorry guy that used to call defense for Green Bay, and their defense wasn't good. This is just Joe Philbin all over again. But let's go to the big hire so far. Your boy, the guy you think is the greatest coach in that division, John Harbaugh, going to the Giants. Is that the right move? The Giants making him their next head coach?
Absolutely. Bring stability to a organization and franchise that hasn't had it in a while. It reminds me a little bit of the Ron Rivera hire by the Washington Commanders. Hey, let's kind of get the ship right. Then we can put some pieces together, get some good draft picks,
send them to the broadcast booth when it doesn't work out.
Yep, bring some credibility back to the organization. It reminds me a lot of when they hired Tom Coughlin back in the day, right? He was like this, they knew what they were getting from him, having come from Jacksonville. He built the organization there. Like, I think the Giants can make the playoffs next year with John Harbaugh. And listen, he's got the winning knowledge, consistency. He's the CEO type of coach to set the standards, hold players accountable. That is every box that the New York Giants needed.
This is tough for me because I just, if we go through the process, I can't say, oh, this is a great hire when he just left probably one of the best available jobs open and an MVP quarterback, and like he couldn't get over the hump with that. So I'm just supposed to think like, oh, he couldn't do it with that kind of talent, so he's just going to come in and take Jackson Dart in the second year, Cam Scatterboo with half a leg, Malik Neighbors coming back off of injury, like not the best offensive line, and all of a sudden, he's just going to be a culture guy, and the Giants are going to make the playoffs. Like, I do think he is one of the most stable options they could have had, and I don't know if that's enough. To me, it's really about who are his coordinators. Like, is he going to bring in Monken? Is he going to bring in somebody that's young and innovative? Because his specialty isn't calling plays on offense or defense. Like, he's just like a Dabo Swinney. He's like a CEO guy. So I'm like,
and that's
who is he bringing in? Like, him alone is not enough. Like, this isn't Baltimore. Like, you don't have Lamar Jackson to bail you out anymore.
JT, you act like
obvious you don't know how to call the plays.
John Harbaugh was there 18 years. You act like Lamar's been playing for Lamar isn't even 30.
But
you won a Super Bowl without Lamar.
Let's keep it real. John Harbaugh also came to the Ravens with Ogden, Ray Lewis, Chris McAllister, Ed Reed. Like, these are Hall of Fame players. And then when those players were gone, didn't they have 3 losing seasons until they got Lamar, and Lamar saved his job?
Now you're going to start.
I'm saying those are the facts. Out of both sides of your mouth. I'm not saying it's a terrible hire. I need to see the coordinators. It might not be enough. Him alone, I'm not buying it.
But JT, ever since he's come into the league, he's always had coordinators that since
he's come into the league, he's had elite Hall of Fame talent on his team.
But he's
if he's hiring Greg Roman tomorrow as OC, do you think that it's a great hire?
But maybe for that situation, JT, you forget when he brought in Greg Roman, everyone like, oh, this is great for Lamar, and it was. When he brought in Monken, great for Lamar, and it was. You forget he had Mike McDonald. He brought him from Michigan. And he had other defensive coordinators before Mike McDonald. You act like this guy has no coaching tree. You act like he has never brought in you never give him credit. He had the foresight to trade up for Lamar Jackson. He
did not. It was Ozzy's gift to them on the way out.
He brought in Mike McDonald.
No. We just not going to skate past that. It was Ozzy's gift to them on the way out. That was his
JT.
Ozzy wanted that. Ozzy wanted that.
But JT, you don't think as a head coach he had enough time in the organization that if he could have said no, he would have been. They would have been.
The fact that you just
they would have not have done it.
The fact that you just skating over one of the best GMs of all time to say hey, John Harbaugh made that pick. No, he didn't.
Because JT, no matter what I say, I'm trying to get through the segment because no matter what I say, you're never going to agree. You don't give John Harbaugh credit, but then you turn around and you say how great Tomlin is. Name a coaching tree that Tomlin has. Name the players that he inherited from Coward.
That's all I do.
Oh, great. They each have one Super Bowl, and Harbaugh has more playoff wins. If you want to have all winning seasons, go ahead.
Harbaugh has way more talent. Harbaugh has way more talent. Mike Tomlin won 60% of his games with quarterbacks that wouldn't even start for the Raiders.
You are insane right now. Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio
old-ass
Brown,
Ben Roethlisberger, Kenny Pickett that sucks, Duck Hodges, Mason Rudolph, in the bones of old-ass Aaron Rodgers. And he's still making the playoffs.
So the fans
John Harbaugh, maybe one of the greatest quarterbacks of a generation, Lamar Jackson. And not to mention Hall of Famers galore, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Jonathan Ogden. Like, come on, man. It's not even the same scenario. But we don't
You're
agree.
Right.
But,
you know why?
But let's
I'm getting the last word. I'm getting the last word because you cut me off. So all these Steeler greats are nothing. You're saying the Ravens have had better talent throughout the whole 19 years that Tomlin was in Pittsburgh. That's fine. That's good to know.
Yes.
That's good to know. You're insane. You don't know football then. You don't know football. You don't know football then. You don't know football.
All right. Who are the best three coaches? Who are the best three coaches that are still available? And I guess we don't really care where they should go, but who are the best three available?
I mean, listen, you don't really know football, so I should probably just give my list and we move on because you obviously don't know football.
Yeah.
Troy Polamalu, Ben Roethlisberger, Hall of Famer. Antonio Brown, Hall of Famer. James Harrison, Hall of Famer. I mean, we keep going down the line. He had Dick LeBeau as his defensive coordinator. Inherited that. You had
Tomlin has had a quarterback.
He has.
He had been toward the end for majority of his.
Are you kidding, career. Bro? He took over in 2007. Ben was drafted in 2003.
How many starting quarterbacks has he had since he's been the coach?
It doesn't matter. He had the one. He had Ben from 2007 to 2020, 2021-ish. He had one of the greatest offenses of all time, and they lost to Jacksonville because they gave up 45 points to Blake Bortles
for a majority of the back end of that time he's played.
Oh my goodness!
Come on, how many?
Don't lie to the fans.
Tomlin needs to get rid of Ben. Tomlin needs to get rid of Ben.
This is a shame. You are lying to our fans and listeners.
You lying to yourself.
So the three best coaching candidates still available are Brian Flores, Chris Shula, and I'm going to throw in Mike LaFleur.
Mm-hmm. I think Flores.
I think it's LaFleur's time. I think it's LaFleur's time. He comes from the McVay tree.
I think Flores. I think McDermott is up there, and I know he probably won't coach, but I think Tomlin is also in that top three because I think those three can step in right now, give you stability, and 8 wins to your team in a heartbeat.
I'm not sure the whole McDermott thing. I'd obviously give you Tomlin.
I think the GM in Buffalo,
there's no doubt there,
is the biggest problem that nobody's talking about. But that's for another day.
So how do you say that, but then you also want to criticize Josh Allen? So you just admitted that the roster isn't up to snuff.
Oh God, you guys want to save this man so bad. He don't want to save himself. Let it go.
All right, we're gonna do the NFL edition and forget about it for Gazy before we get out of here. We got to talk about this guy because it's the greatest quarterback ever, according to the book of JT here. Drake May is a top 3 quarterback right now.
Oh, facts. Forget about it. I'm telling you, like you could call me crazy or whatever. I told you 2 years ago. I said it again this year. He gonna be the next GOAT. You just see it. Like he's doing so much with nothing. He is throwing the guys that would not be starting on any other team out there. Think about it. His best receiver is Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry shouldn't even still be in the league. He's like 40. Diggs is old. Who the hell is Kayshon Boutte and Kyle Williams? Now, no disrespect to them, I know who they are, but like this isn't, a gauntlet of elite receivers. This isn't elite weapons. Your boy Trevion Henderson can't get on the field, and he's having an MVP season with this type of roster. Like high completion percentage, over 70%, the best deep ball thrower already in the league in his second year. I mean, I just don't see how he's not a top 3 quarterback. I'm telling you right now, he will be the best quarterback in the NFL. He will be the best quarterback in the NFL.
But the question was right
now he's top 3.
So it's him, Mahomes, and Josh Allen or Lamar, whoever we want to throw in there as number 3. No. Then that's 4. You can't count.
Hey, look.
You just said
one.
Mahomes,
no, I said who?
Lamar,
I said,
Josh Allen.
No, I said it's. You don't listen. I said it's Drake May and Mahomes, and then I said whoever you want to throw in at 3, whether it's Josh Allen or Lamar, they can share that spot. Drake May is better than them.
See, if you're saying right now, you got to have a conversation with Stafford too. Right now. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Josh Allen is better. Mahomes had a better year. Stafford is better right now. And that's without even saying I didn't include Burrow. I didn't include Lamar. Like
I think he's better than all of them.
I would even say Dak Prescott right now.
I think he's better than all of them.
Well, you're wrong again, as always.
Generational player. You heard it here first.
That's fine. You know what I love? I hope that comes true because
my Dolphins gonna suck regardless.
You want it to happen. You want it to happen so bad.
It's happening.
Listen, this is why the Dolphins are cursed. People like you. Stop being a Canes fan. Now I know why the Canes are cursed. Our guy Fidel, he said fire Bean. He agrees with you. Listen, I'm not opposed to that. But at the same time, the one thing that the owner is going to look at is he wants to be able to have someone to trust and to walk him through, building a team and creating a roster. And Bean is a guy they trust. Listen, is he the one that drafted Josh Allen when a couple other teams passed on him?
Is he the one that gave like $70 million to Josh Palmer, Khalil Shakir? Who other sorry receivers?
I mean, Shakir's playing right now. He's playing pretty well.
He ain't playing well enough to win. He ain't a wide receiver.
Did he not draft James Cook?
Okay. Who else?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know the Bills all that well.
Bean has been there for a long ass time, bro. Like he don't got a good track record of drafting talent. There's a reason why that roster is talent deficient, which is the same argument you're making for why it's not Josh Allen's fault. Who do you think drafted that sorry ass team?
He went and got Stephon Diggs. He went and got him. Like, so we'll see. Maybe it's the coaching. We'll see. You never know. Maybe they needed
Curtis Samuel. That was the other person I couldn't think of. It was Curtis Samuel. Okay. $70 million to Curtis Samuel, Josh Palmer.
Listen,
you laugh. I am laughing because that's ridiculous.
No, what I'm saying is we laughed when Jacksonville signed Christian Kirk to that big deal, and then what happened? Look at Houston.
Still laughing because he didn't do shit for him, and that's why he's on the Texans.
But look at in Houston, he's doing a pretty good job.
He's still not doing shit.
You've got to pay somebody. No, you got to pay somebody. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You've got to pay somebody.
20, I get it.
You've got that's right. All right, last one. Sam Darnold is the best revenge story in sports history.
I know. I saw that question too. I couldn't believe it. I keep seeing.
You wrote this one.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you
wrote
did.
It on TV. Hell no. I mean, we see this every time. Some quarterback plays sorry. He gets with a good coach, and then he starts playing better. Baker Mayfield got the same damn story. Like it's not at all.
No, this is Fugazi. We're not wasting too much time. That's Fugazi. The best revenge story in sports history. That's Fugazi. But let's do weekend predictions real quick, JT. AFC, NFC title game. AFC championship, who you got?
Patriots.
I'm going to go Denver just because you took the Patriots, and I
No,
want to
you
see.
go.
I want to see.
You got to sell this whole Jared.
I want to see Drake. I want to see Drake May fall flat on his face. You got to sell the
Jared.
So
Jared
I can laugh at you.
Hype track you just made. You can't spend 30 minutes talking about that and then pick the Patriots.
All right, let's go. Rams at Seattle. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Rams. I just don't think Seattle has been there yet. I want to see him go up against a mastermind on offense like McVay. I think it's gonna be the Rams.
I got to go with my guy Sean McVay. That's my guy.
He's still not going to send you his hair gel. You ain't got to pick him every time.
Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, top 3 quarterback this year. Take Drake May out of there. He's probably not even top 5. So it's going to be Denver and the LA Rams for the Super Bowl. I'll laugh in JT's face. So we want to give a big thank you to Coach Cassidy for joining us tonight. Great job as always. And thank you to the fans and listeners out there for joining us, especially if you made comments. We always appreciate that. And remember to subscribe to Give Us a Shot Network YouTube channel. And remember to subscribe to JT and the Don All Sports Podcast. You can find us wherever you find all of your other favorite podcasts. And remember, if you like what we do, leave us a 5-star review. And JT,
if you don't like what we do,
leave us a 5-star review. You can find us on social media. Our handle at JT and the Don, Instagram, X, Facebook, and TikTok. That's all run by JT. So if you don't like something there, send him the hate mail. So JT, great to be back, man. Start off the 2026 season episodes of JT and the Don. It's been fun as always. And again, I'm still undefeated, 1-0 this year. So JT, until the next episode, see ya.
Peace.